Sometimes when people find out I'm a Christian, they get a concerned look on their face and ask, "You don't interpret the Bible literally, do you?" Well, the term literally isn't just misused by teenagers. It's also a really confusing term when it comes to interpretation. In this video, I'm covering 4 tips for interpreting the Bible. They're going to literally blow your mind, so stick around. Hey, I'm Matt, and you're watching Truth Snack, a channel that aims to help you discuss what matters. If you're just discovering Truth Snack, consider subscribing. You can do that by clicking the little logo that's in the corner of the screen. Before we dive in, we have to grasp a key concept. The meaning of the Bible is something that's discovered, not decided. It's not up to you to make the Bible mean something. The text already has a meaning. It's your job to draw that meaning out. So let's look at 4 quick tips we should all use when interpreting the Bible. Tip number 1, understand genre. The Bible is filled with all kinds of genres, from biography to poetry. So when the Bible says the trees of the field clap their hands, the trees don't have literal hands to clap. And when Jesus said, "I am the vine and you are the branches," he didn't mean that he was a literal vine. It's been said that we need to interpret the Bible not literally, but literarily. The Bible communicates messages using both literal and figurative language, and genre helps us sort out what's being communicated. Tip number 2, recognize the author's original intent. Imagine getting a letter and it's a beautiful love letter. Gosh, it makes you feel so good to read, but the author didn't mean it as a love letter. They're just a friend communicating a life update. That'd be pretty awkward, and you can see that understanding the author's original intent is central to properly interpreting any text, and the same goes for the Bible. Tip number 3, determine how it was understood. Understanding the author's original intent doesn't make the original readers unimportant. It was written with them in mind, intentionally in a way that they could understand. So taking off your worldview glasses and understanding the text through their eyes is crucially important. Which leads me to my last tip. Number 4, context is key. There are 2 kinds of context I want to discuss. The first context is literary. Book, paragraph, and sentence help us understand why the writer chose the words they did. Pulling a single verse out of the Bible can be confusing or even dangerous because it wasn't meant to be understood that way. The second context is historical. The writing of the Bible spans several ancient cultures with customs, religious beliefs, political systems, and more. So, for example, when the New Testament describes the disciples Matthew as a tax collector and Simon as a zealot, it doesn't mean much to a 21st century reader. But people in the original historical context would have known that tax collectors and zealots didn't just hang out. They hated each other. But for some reason, they followed this guy named Jesus together. Once we grasp the historical context, it really brings the text to life. Ultimately, context is like a game of Sudoku. The surrounding parts that are understood bring clarity to the parts that aren't clear yet. And the more we fill in, the clearer the interpretive puzzle becomes. Using these 4 tips will help you properly interpret the Bible. Check out some of the awesome online resources I've linked below to help answer today's question. What did Jesus mean when he said, "I am the vine, you are the branches," in John 15:5? I've noticed that on lots of my videos, I get somewhere between like 5 to 7 likes, which is totally awesome, and I super appreciate it. If you're one of those people who consistently like my videos, I want to know who you are because I so appreciate your support. So make sure you leave a comment below and we'll talk about what it is you love so much about Truth Snack. It'll help me improve the channel and continue creating content that you love. Bye for now.